Hey guys, I've been wanting to make a video on this 18-inch Bluemax chainsaw I bought about a year ago, and I got this for $120 with the case, and the tool comes with it. I had to buy the file separate, it didn't come with the file, but I've been wanting to do a semi-review of it, just talking about it, and I don't have a video on sharpening a chainsaw. I've been asked about it several times, and I figured I'd just share a couple tips. I'm no expert on it myself. I know how to sharpen a chain, so I figured I'd share it with you, tell you what to do and what not to do. And then I got an old pine tree that fell down about a year or two ago, and there's still a log left of it, so we'll cut a couple chunks off of it and try it out. The first part of the video is going to be sharpen the chain, and we'll talk more about the saw itself. So let me get it set up in the vise. A couple safety tips for when you're sharpening the chain or adjusting the chain or replacing the chain or anything. First off, it might sound kind of obvious, but make sure your saw is not running. Make sure it's off and let it sit for a while, for about 20 or 30 minutes or so, to cool down, because your bar will get awful hot and it's real easy to get burned on it. Don't ask me how I know, I've done it a lot myself. But yeah, it's just a couple safety tips you want to make sure you do. And always wear safety glasses when you're sawing, and even when you're filing. You don't want a piece of metal in your eye. Kind of get an idea, I got the bar pinched right here. They don't have to go super tight. And the first thing you want to do is make sure your chain's tight, and this is about what you want. If your chain's loose, you're not gonna, it's gonna be rocking a lot more than that is when you're trying to sharpen it. It could be just a little bit snug, but I'm just gonna leave it alone. What's always difficult for a lot of people is you got, one set of blades going this way and the other set going this way. But to start out, we'll be doing this side like this. It's open on this part. You can see here it's open, and on this side, you got to run it through file this way. So we'll be flipping the bar over to do that. Now, what I always like to do, especially on a chain like this, it's still in pretty good shape, it might be hard to see which ones you've filed already. I like to take a Sharpie and just mark it where you start at, and that usually helps a lot. But get your bars, but if your chain's real bad, you're going to be able to see where you started filing. And this, like I said, this saw's brand new. It was only used for a couple hours, cleaning up a couple pine trees, but it's really not in too bad a shape. So I'll show you what to look for on this. And most important thing is maintaining an angle. And they make a guide that goes on your file to help get your angle right. And to me, they just get in the way. I've tried to use them, but as long as you match the angle that's already on the tooth, like this on the chain, it's the same angle that you're going to be filing at. Do you see right there's too much angle? Right there's not enough. And right there's what you want. And I like a regular file like this. It's supposed to have a handle on it, but I didn't have one that came with it. But they make a rotary tool, like for a Dremel, that goes on here. And I think you're just eating your chain away too fast when you do that. I like a file myself because you get more of a feel for it. And you see these people that will file it so much that you're taking your chain life away. It usually only takes less than 5 strokes on each blade, on each tooth, but it just depends on how bad the chain is. This one will probably won't even take 3 probably, but we'll look at it a little bit closer. You can see what the file is going to be doing. That way you'll know what to look for. Okay, so this is the one I marked black, and you can feel a pretty good edge on it. We're going to go 3 on it here and look at it. And it's not all the way across the top of the tooth yet, so we're going to have to go a couple more. So that was 3, 4, and 5. So now it's all shiny all around the tooth like that. You can see, except for at the top there, we'll get 2 more. If you look, I'm at 7 strokes, The top corner right here, it's not all the way in yet. You can see right there. So we gotta go a couple more. I'm just gonna go ahead and do 3 more, making an even 10. And you don't have to put a whole lot of pressure on the file. Let the file do the work. And make sure you get the right file for your blade. That's really about as good as it's gonna get. You can feel a pretty good edge on it. I think so we're gonna do this one every tooth. So that's 10 strokes per tooth. Now we have to do that on all of them. And when we flip it around and do the other side, be doing 10 on that too. Because if you do more on one side than you do the other, your saw's gonna cut crooked. You don't want that. So let me get the rest of these sharpened up, and we'll get right back with them. Like I said, another important tip is make sure you get the right size file for your chain. If you don't, you're not going to be grinding it right. You're not going to be filing it right. Either be, if the file's too small, you're going to be cutting too deep here, and it's not going to be touching the top edge. And if your file's too big around, you're going to be getting a flat angle, or no angle at all on the top here. It ain't going to cut at all. So you file it like that, it's going to be throwing big chips out, and it's going to be cutting fast, and it'll hold up for a while. So I'm going to get back with you when I get it all sharpened on this side, and we'll flip it over and do a quick look at the other side. Right here's exactly what you want it to look like. As you see, you get the angle all the way across the top, so you know the file's touched the whole surface. So you're going to have a sharp cutting edge right there. Another thing about the rotary tools, like this, if you get it too hot and it starts turning blue, then it's going to chip away. If you hit a little piece of harder wood or something, you're going to start chipping it away, and you don't want that. Same way as sharpening lawnmower blades. You get them too sharp, or not so much too sharp on this, but if you start grinding too much and it starts turning blue, you take the temper out of the metal and you're making it brittle. Okay, so you see I got the saw in here upright. Now you don't want to, we did this side right here. Now you don't want to try to be filing toward you like it. It just don't work. I've tried it. Don't work. So what you want to do is saw out, turn it upside down. Just like this. Now you can get to the other side and file it just like this. I already marked the other side, and it's going to go the same way as the other side. And you do the same thing on all of them. It'll be ready to go. Okay, so now we're going to talk more about the saw. I got the chain sharpened, and I'm going to talk about a few things I like about it, and the one thing I don't like about it. First thing I like is the off and on switch. Reminds me of your older saws, and I like that. It's got the old pull out choke on it. I like how that's made. And the model number on this is a 20112. That's the model of the Bluemax. And this is you can find these at Rural King. That's where this was ordered from. Real good shipping on it too, real fast shipping. They didn't even, they forgot to send out a tracking number on it, and I tripped over it the next day after when I was going to work in the morning. That's how fast it was. So, but the air filter is made like a steel. You can see. So it's for the most part, it appears to be copied off of steel. I don't know if the parts are interchangeable. I ain't had to work on it yet. But it does appear to be copied off of steel for the most part. And it is made in China and everything. It's you know, like I said, it's not a top of the line saw, but you know, for occasional use, that's all I need. I'm not using it, you know, every day. But there's a shot of the muffler. You can see how it's made. And I didn't get a chance to clean it last time I used it. And I was going to say the one thing I don't like about it don't have a primer button. This is probably where it would have been, but when it runs out of gas or when I drain the gas out of it, it's always hard to start. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But it's a minor detail. And when I got it, they had the fuel filter sitting up. and you get to a half a tank and it would act like it was running out of gas. So I had to move that fuel line in there. But yeah, let me gas and oil it up, and we'll go out and do a little cutting with it and see how it's going to cut with the sharpened blade on it. So yep, let's get back to some running of it. Put out nice big chips, just like you want. Okay, so after cutting for about a half hour or less, the chain gets loose, and that's normal. They'll all do that. And I was going to make a quick little add-on to the video on how to adjust it in case you don't know how to do it. And all chainsaws come with this T-handle tool, and if you don't have this, it's usually 9/16. In this case, it's a 1/2 inch. It fits your 2 bolts here and 2 nuts. You need a straight screwdriver for this adjustment screw here. And the other end is for your spark plug. So it's an all-in-one tool for a chainsaw. And I didn't used to think too much of these, but they're actually really all you need. So you want to loosen your 2 nuts. Don't take them off, but just loosen them so they're pretty loose. I mean, I say loose, you should be able to, like you seen the bar drop down a little bit there. But make sure that you can move the bar a little bit. And now some of them will have this adjustment screw over here like this. I like these a lot better like this. Makes it just a little easier to adjust. That's about the way you want it. Everybody's got their own way of adjusting them. You don't want it too tight or too loose. Too loose and it's going to wear your bar and chain, and if you get it too tight you're going to wear out and it's going to stretch the chain and possibly break the chain. If you get it too loose like it was before I started, you're taking a chance of it coming off, and when the chain comes off it'll sling back and usually hit your arm. Yeah, it's not too good when it does that. That's about the way you want it. You want to be able to move it like this and get a little bit of drag, not too bad. That's about what you want. Well guys, I've been wanting to make a video on sharpening the chain and a review on this. I did a 2-in-1 to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So, but yeah, for the most part, I'm happy with the saw. And it took about 10 pulls with a choke on to get it to fire up without a primer button, where it would have been 2 or 3. Like I said, it's not that big a deal, but it is kind of annoying. You know, you'd think something new like this would have a primer button on it, but it's not real critical to me. But some people definitely would not like it. But yeah, for occasional use, and I don't know how long it will hold up, but so far so good with it for me. So I highly recommend trying it, and let me know what you all think about it. So if you got any questions or comments on this saw or sharpening chains, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. So we'll catch you all in the next video. So thanks for watching.